Let's kick off with the styling. It's a big SUV, standing tall and wide. The Chevy's lines are easy on the eye without being particularly beautiful or extravagant or groundbreaking. The Trailblazer does share some Isuzu KB DNA, and here in the cabin, the dashboard is the most obvious common denominator. It's got all the bells and whistles you'd expect. The quality of the fittings in the cabin is not great, and the quality of the materials is not as good as you'd expect it to be in an SUV retailing for R500,000. Be that as it may, the Trailblazer is a pucker 4x4 with a transfer case and the option to select between the default rear-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive with a locked center differential and low range. The independent front suspension and 5-link coil spring setup at the back provides a pretty good ride without any additional weight added. With a tow rating of 2,950 kilograms, 2.8 LTZ Trailblazer also boasts a raft of electronic safety features. Overall though, the Trailblazer seems to tick a whole lot of right boxes. Big on power, big on space, big on modern safety features, and generally big on all-round ability. The judges each drove the Chevrolet over the standard test route, and this is what they thought of the Chevrolet Trailblazer 2.8 LTX 4x4 Auto.
I'm a little bit disappointed in the Chev itself on the ability of it.
There's nothing wrong with the power and the engine, but the gearbox makes it very unresponsive. You've got the power, but it's very difficult to control it.
It handles the weight quite nicely. That's not a problem.
It's not a very comfortable vehicle to be sitting in the passenger side when towing. It feels very boaty. It wallows quite a lot. Was the first one to make me feel seasick. And then from the driver's side, the suspension even on the front wheels is a bit jittery, which was quite disappointing. If I had to choose between driving in the passenger side or in the driver's side to Cape Town, I'd say higher Santa Fe. I was quite disappointed with it.
I was quite impressed with it. It's quite a heavy vehicle and it's towing a heavy caravan, but it had enough power and lots of torque, so it pulled very well.
Noisy, every time you come to a slower pull-off, you hear that engine. And I think in the modern generation times, you don't want to hear all the noise of an engine. Those days of tractors are long gone.
Very difficult to drive it at a nice constant speed. The moment you give it throttle input, the gearbox tends to select another gear, which is totally unnecessary.
It's got a big interior that I like.
It's good, the Trailblazer is good, but I think you could do better at that pricing point.